Let's go ahead and talk about DI, which stands for Dependency Injection. Dependency injection is basically a design pattern that allows you to pass in the dependencies for your class externally. Let's go ahead and look at an example. I have two classes. One is car, one is called person. Let's look at the car. So the car says it has a field on, and you have a method that turns on or off, toggles the on field. And the drive checks whether the on field is true. If it is true, it can drive the car. Otherwise, it says I have to start the car first. And the person has drive method. What we're going to do is we're going to use DI to inject the car as a dependency for the person. And we are going to do that right now. So I'm going to create a constructor. And in that constructor, I'm going to say we're going to pass in the car. And that's the dependency. Then we're going to have a private field car inside of the person, but that car will be instantiated and passed in externally. So that dependency is being passed in externally rather. And then in the drive, we're going to say turn on or off, and then we're going to say drive. This is a very simple example, but you see the point. And let me go ahead and say person equals new person. But see, it requires a car. The person can't be created without a car. Now the car becomes a dependency for the person. So we need to create the car, and once the car has been created, we can then pass that into the person, and then the person will be able to do the driving with the car as its dependency. So it's dependent on the car to be able to drive. And let's go ahead and run this. You will see car has been created, and then let's actually step into it. So we're creating a car, we're getting that as a dependency, and then the drive will basically go into the car and say turn on or off. Right now on is false. When we go on it, it says true, and it's going to print the car is on. Great. Then it's going to try to drive the car. So it is on, yes. It's going to drive the car and going to say drive car. So there you go. Basically, when applying DI, the objects are given their dependency at creation time by some external entity that coordinates each object in the system. Dependencies are injected into the object. So as you see, car is the dependency that's being injected into the object person. What this allows us to do is to later down the line be able to abstract this dependency and say what type of car we want to pass in. Right now it's a concrete class, so it's a car. Only a car can be passed in. But later on, when we learn about polymorphism, you will see that this can be a different type of car, or just anything else, right? It doesn't have to be a car. Obviously, this is a very specific example, but this class can be an abstract class, or it can be an interface, and the interface can have many implementations. So the person or any class that you are trying to inject dependency into will not know what the concrete class, what the concrete implementation is. It will have an interface, and the actual implementation will be abstracted away. You will see what I mean by that when we do the polymorphism example. But for this example, we're just trying to show the dependency injection technique and how it is used on a very simple example, so you just get the concept down. But that's it for now.